right, shalom.
Shalom.
Hey, so first and foremost, we want to start by giving all praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
double honors to the apostles and others at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to all the sister Akim, enduring afflictions, making their calling and election sure. It's your brother Kabar.
This is brother Itazaka.
And we back with another one. Lord willing, this be edifying to the elect. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Bahar Kakadash, Barakatam, to all sister listeners who may hear this. So I got pulled up here. It's just a quick list of different articles. I just typed in implant and mandatory, and we're just going to go into it and get some scriptures. Let's see. Let's look at this one. This is ABC 12 News. It says, bill requires employers to keep implanted microchips voluntary for workers. Just to read it here. It says, as employers around the U.S. implant microchips in workers to track productivity, the Michigan House passed a bill making them voluntary in the state. The bill passed Wednesday prohibits employers from requiring workers to accept a microchip implant. And this is a quote from the state representative Brona Kale of Lenawee County, who sponsored the bill. She says, with the way technology has increased over the years and as it continues to grow, it's important Michigan job providers balance the interests of the company with their employees' expectations of privacy. You chime in whenever you want. It says, she said companies increasingly are turning to miniature microchips about the size of a rice grain implanted in employees' hands to track productivity so managers can look for ways to boost efficiency. In some places, the RFID microchips take the place of time cards, ID badges, and security clearance devices. Some can be equipped with credit card technology to complete financial transactions. All right. Now, folks in the know, all right, brothers know that, this is the mark of the beast. All right, just to put that out there. You want to just get to Revelation 13, or I could read more? It says, Kale said the devices aren't used widely yet, but she believes they could become a standard business practice around Michigan in the next few years.
Oh, hey, I got a quick one. I'm gonna just start from the top. It's Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord Yahweh Shah answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it.
And this is a vision. This is the prophet Habakkuk. All right, this vision, along with other visions, all right, was written. All right, and it says he may run that readeth it. All right, so we're reading.
Lucky, right? Start with read back in.
Yeah, I guess we could continue at 3.
This back in Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry.
Yep, this is the appointed time, man. You know why? Because this is the end. All right, it says, but at the end it shall speak. All right, we see this vision speaking. All right, pursuant to Revelation 13, Lord willing, we'll get that. Ultimately, we see it. We see the scriptures that were written thousands of years ago. All right, are it's just plain, man. It's plain. There's no denying that. We see that man's goings are truly of the Lord. Esau, he can't do nothing against the prophecies, man. He's executing them, And it says, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. All right. At this time, it's not tarrying, man.
It's just like here they in that article you had read about how gradually, she believes over the next few years. How I said it.
Let's see. Slock it. This is Okay, Khan. It says Kel said the devices aren't used widely yet, but she believes that they could become a standard business practice around Michigan in the next few years.
Standard business practice. Can we look that up? Bubba Kashad?
Which word?
Just type in standard business practice in Google. See what we get for that.
Khan.
Because she said it's not widely used, it's not widespread right now, but eventually she believes that it's going to become a standard, for a standard practice, a standard business practice, which we know America is nothing but a business, so this is going to be a standard practice amongst amongst Americans in America,
Mm-hmm. Business practice, it says any tactic or activity a business conducts to reach its objectives.
Woo! The New World Order. The New World Order, man. What's the ultimate objective that this business is trying to succeed with a New World Order, man? They want everybody to come under the banner of Satan, basically. Come the system of the beast, like you always going to. That's what they want people to come up under, man. They want people to bow down to that beast, man. Succumb to the system.
God. There's more in there. It says business practices are the ways it attempts to do so in the most cost-effective way. A company may have rules for business practices to ensure that its employees are efficient in their work and abide by applicable laws.
Yeah, so basically making you bow down, man. You know what I'm saying? Making sure you're worshiping them right, making sure you're basically following their guidelines to their standards, man. Because without a microchip, without a device, they can't ultimately keep track on you like they want to. They got different, they got emails, phone numbers, and social security numbers, birth certificates, different things. But none of those things can ensure that you're following their way like this microchip can, man. Because this is actually implanted inside of you. So at all times they know what you're doing, man.
Yep.
Hey, can we read verse 4 in this Habakkuk as well?
I think
4 and 5.
That was it on that article anyway.
Oh, okay,
Let me read it for you.
I got it, bro. This just read 4 and 5. This back in Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 4, it says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith."
Yep. Ultimately the chief example is the Edomite. All right, he's just puffed up, exalted. You know what I'm saying? Like First Maccabees 1. When Alexander, he was just, conquering the world. He was exalted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That pride, man.
Yep.
And that's who we know who this person is. Who person is, man. The best example you could find, man. Which goes more into it says, "But the just shall live by faith." And ultimately, the only people this applies to is the Israelites. The true saints that's going to be taking the kingdom. The true saints who ultimately the beast is going to be making war with.
Yep. And then it say just to add a point to what you just said, we know that this is primarily talking about Esau. Which it is talking about Esau. Because ultimately this guy he's trying to put a microchip inside of you, man. He's trying to implant a device inside of your body, man. Your soul has not. It's not. It can't be upright for you to want to do something like that. You know what I'm saying?
God.
Verse 5. It says, "Yeah. Also, like in one more point on that verse 4 too. It say the just shall live by their faith. Ultimately because we know in Revelations 13, which we're gonna grab there, Lord willing. We know He's gonna try to cause both small and great, rich and poor, to receive a mark. So ultimately, the just they're not gonna succumb to that. They're not gonna succumb to that. They're gonna live by their faith. They're gonna live by the fact that Yahweh Shemashah is gonna take care of us. Regardless of what this devil's trying to perpetuate.
Mind if we get Hebrews 11:1 real quick?
You got it out.
just to land back on what this faith is, right? This is in the book of Hebrews 11 and verse 1. It says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. You know, like watching the brother Camp the other day, he was, talking to the Scorpion for a long time, and we were just going into faith, man. Like how we know particular things is by faith, man. You're not going to be able to approve certain things, but we know this by faith. We know this place is going to be tumbling down, all right, by faith. We know these elite Baker families, all right, the Rockefellers, all right, they're going to be put headfirst into captivity, and it takes a level of faith, to really truly believe, that have that hope for things that's there's no evidence of this, all right, but we have faith for that. We know by faith, all right, that we're going to get delivered out of here, man. The same place that's going to get hit with nuclear missiles, we have faith that we will survive. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Back in the go back to the Habakkuk. Back in the Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 5, it says, yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
Reminds me of this clip. I think it's from a movie called like Dinner in America or something like that. That this is Jake. He was like talking to the white dude at the table. He was like, "You're not a race. You're a virus." He was just talking, just breaking it down. You know what I'm saying? But this is the nature of the Edomite, man. It says he's a proud man, neither keepeth at home, which we know America. America, this business, all right, really embodies, the spirit of the Edomite. You know what I'm saying? That daughter of Babylon, the beast, the man of the field. He said, neither keepeth at home. Not a plain man dwelling in tents. He can't chill, man. It says enlarges his desire as hell, man. All right. When you go into you make something called a space force. You got something called space trash. You out here bombing the sun. You know what I'm saying? Like
trying to bomb the moon.
Come on, man. This is basically, hey man, it says, but gathereth into him all nations and heapeth into him all people, which we know Revelation 18 talks about, how the dragon is going to be, man, that fornication, man, other nations are going to be drinking of this, Yep.
I got a quick precept to back up that Hebrews 11 you brought out real quick, if I may. This Matthew chapter 13 in verse I started 16. It says, but blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which they see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which they hear, and have not heard them. And what made them righteous men? Because they had faith, man. Where the evidence of things that they had not seen. They had not seen those things, but they believed that they were going to come. And ultimately, we are seeing the things that our forefathers, before us had not seen but believed to come. But we're actually seeing them. So we got more reason to go off of our faith, man. We got more more what's the word?
More evidence.
More evidence. God, the more evidence of the things not seen. You know what I'm saying? That the things that are not seen are going to be seen.
Yep.
Yeah, just that point. Because people love to say, "Oh, how you know these things gonna come? How these things gonna happen, and how you know this gonna come to pass?" Well, it's gonna come to pass because because in the scriptures it tells us that, and we believe it, man. We believe the scriptures, man. What the scriptures tell us, man. The scriptures tell us that in the last days, it's gonna be a man who's gonna try to implant a device in you, man. And that's and literally we see it coming to pass right before our eyes, man. You got forced vaccinations, right around the corner. You know, you got Michigan just passed a law where people could take voluntary microchips for business practices. So these things are coming to pass, man.
There's another article that looked interesting, but you want to I had 2 Peter 3 kind of just.
Oh, okay, yeah, you got it.
Get that. This is 2 Peter 3, just to kind of land back on the point we was making, because everything is prophecy. We're in the time of prophecy. Elder Apostle Tahar deemed this year as a year of prophecy, man. This is 2 Peter 3, and I was just going to start at verse 3. It says, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers walking after their own lusts, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation. So ultimately we understand that, hey, there's really no new thing under the sun, just like as we brought out. Prophets who came before us, were going through that same conversation. Like, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? We thinking that you said this was the end. All right. But like Elder Apostle Gabar, he made a point, because there was the whole 2000 thing. The reason why, all right, the 2000 wasn't the end, because the mark of the beast hasn't been mandatory or implemented yet. That was the prophecy that had to come to pass. So that that alone, and now we see this. All right, we're reading. I was gonna get another article just to read the title. It says. It literally says Bill Gates is not secretly plotting microchips in a coronavirus vaccine. The fact that that's an article, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how we know. Like, okay, all right, this is the time of prophecy, man. All right, they like to throw the word conspiracy theories, but this thing, a literal conspiracy. All right, that's scriptural, It's lucky not to go too far off, but Psalms 83, man, that's a conspiracy, making crafty counsel, man. That's what a conspiracy is, man. And we see it.
Well, ultimately, in the 1960s or the 1970s, this is documented. The CIA created the word conspiracy theorist. They created that. You know what I'm saying? So that's not nothing that, just magically popped up. They made that. They made a conspiracy theorist, man.
God. So who's the real conspiracy theorist?
Right, exactly.
Yep. And if I can find the other article, because it goes into how what's her name, Melinda Gates. She was basically suggesting she was suggesting how basically Jake needs to get the vaccine first.
Oh, I think I heard that. Yeah, I think I seen a video snippet on that or article.
Yeah,
on that.
It was kind. But this is basically, hey man, that's a real conspiracy, man. Why you want Jake to get this vaccine first, man? Which, hey, vaccines, yeah.
I got a couple quick ones, if I may.
Come, bro.
This Colossians chapter 1, verse 26. It says, even the mystery which have been hid from ages and from generations, but now is made manifest to his saints. You know what I'm saying? So, like the brother Kabar was, alluding to, man, the things that's, have been kept secret, they're now here. They're now obvious, man. These things that, you once could question, or once could, make arguments after you can't do that no more, man. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because these things are right here in your face, man. Look at the articles we bring out. Just like you said, like, well, just the simple fact of there's an article. Oh, Bill Gates is trying to hide microchips in vaccinations, man. That's wild, man.
Right. Yep.
Oh, it's lucky.
The brothers made a point the other day at camp how media, that it really goes into witchcraft. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's just like, like the fact that the media is trying to go against, all right, what's really common knowledge at this point. That the devil, all right, is being made manifest, man. like Malachi says, you know, the border wickedness, man. All nations see this devil for who he is, man. Esau's skirt has been lifted, man. And the media can't do nothing to change that, you know?
Yep. So like you had something else to add?
You got.
Can you read that title for what it said about for that Melinda Gates article?
Well, this one, it says Bill Gates is not secretly plotting microchips in the coronavirus vaccine. It says misinformation and conspiracy theories are dangerous for everyone. Is that it? Or you
no,
about,
you said
you want me to find it?
Yeah, it was something you quoted about Melinda Gates, about how she, you know, basically, or you was quoting that.
Yeah, I looked it up. It's not hard to find. Let me see. It says blacks. I'm just gonna type in vaccine. It's gonna come up, Lord willing.
And that's an example. See, you know, that's not even hard to find. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, that, you know, things are being made manifest to who? To his saints, man. You know, to the elect, you know, which Lord willing we those men, you know, but men of our nation, you know, it's being made manifest, man. You know.
Mm-hmm. God. Call up about you, my shot.
Call out, yeah, my shot. That's wild.
Wow.
It's wild.
Yeah, 144, man. Yeah, this is the one I clicked on before. You know what I'm saying? This is time. Melinda Gates says black people must be vaccinated first for COVID-19 after healthcare workers.
Let me bring this up real quick.
Yep.
This is ooh, man. Let's just start at 9. This is Revelation chapter 12 verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. You know. And you know, Esau Edom ultimately is that old serpent, you know, that devil, you know, that dragon, you know, he is Satan, you know, that's the physical counterpart to the spiritual demon Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. What's the example of him? His deception within the whole world was that Jake needs vaccinations. We're the first to need to be vaccinated. Well, first and foremost, don't nobody need to be vaccinated, you know. Where in the Heavenly Father's law does he tell you have to have a vaccination in you, man? You know, that's deception, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it says he was cast out and out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. You know, so ultimately, example, some of his angels is like Bill Gates and Melinda Gates, man. You know, which we know ultimately, you know, that's going into his military might too. That's his angels. You know, those fighter jets and those tankers and, you know, all the, you know, his terribleness. You know, but they're example of some of his angels too, man. You know, they're gonna be cast out. You know.
Mm-hmm.
It said, "Oh, you had a point."
You got. I just want to look up something real quick, but Lord willing, it comes up.
Okay. Go ahead.
I don't know why my Wi-Fi moving slow.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna just read this.
This is what I wanted to look up.
Okay.
See what I'm looking up? It's the pharmacy symbol, you know, and it has the serpent, you know. You know what I'm saying?
That's wild. You can't make this up.
Can't make this up, man. We know that ultimately pharmacy, you know, goes into the word pharmakia, you know, which means sorcery or witchcraft, you know, and the big pharma as they call it, you know what I'm saying? That's just the serpent, man. That's another device that the devil uses on the left hand side, you know, and a lot of people are worshiping, all right, the beast in the form of big pharma, you know, thinking that, you know, you got to get that vaccine, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, it's heavy, yeah, because the serpent, through his pharmakia, his witchcraft, you know, his deception, you know, that's what he's using to create and push these vaccinations, man. You know, but and see, this is and see these secrets, you know, they're being revealed now. You know, these things that, you know, was right there, you know, hidden in plain sight, so to speak. They're now easily being, they're easily identifiable. You know.
Yep. It's plain upon tables.
Yep. Back in Revelation chapter 12, and I just read 9 again. It says, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice in heaven saying, Salakia. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our power Yahweh, and the power of his anointed Hamashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. You know, and what's the example of that accusing, man? You know, well, saying that blacks, you know, and Native Americans, you know, Latinos, they're the first that need to be vaccinated, man. You know, that's accusing us. That's accusing us like, you know, we're a plague or something. We're a virus. You know, we need to be attacked, man. You know.
Yep. There's no new thing under the sun, man. You know, just like they did with the Tuskegee experiments. You know what I'm saying? They always try to do that. You know, and when it comes to the media, they downplay it. You know, if you go back into that, they downplayed it. You know, making it seem like, you know, this is something that was you know what I'm saying, less harmful than it really was.
You're right. Verse 11, it says, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. You know, and that's the key. You know, you can't you're not gonna take that chip, or you're not gonna take no vaccination. Why? Because you don't give a fuck about your life anyway. You know what I'm saying? Our life is here in Hamashiach Yahushua. That's how we're gonna overcome, through his blood, man. You know, cause through him, that's where our life is at, man. We don't have no life here, man. You know, well, what kind of life is it to where you have to take a vaccination to be able to go do something? You know, that's a horrible life, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yep.
It
can't be life.
This can't be life. Good. Verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the... So we supposed to be rejoicing. Why? Because ultimately we know Isaiah 59. You know, when this devil tries to make a standard business practice, Yahweh Shemashah is going to lift up a standard.
Woo-wee.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why we're rejoicing, you know.
Yep.
It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. You know, and that's going into Operation Warp Speed. You know, that's why they trying to, you know, they say they got hundreds of millions or tens of millions of vaccinations ready to go at hand right now, man. Why? Because this devil know that his time running out, man. He's being exposed on all levels, you know, and you know, Yahweh Shemashah has appointed his bounds which he cannot pass, man. You know, so his conscience is condemning him, man. And ultimately he knows he has to make a move right now. That's why he's trying to, you know, come down on Jake right now. You know, because he's running out of time, you know, before our Lord Yahweh Shemashah makes his second coming, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, that was it on that.
You want to jump to 13?
Oh, you want me to read 13 as well?
No, chapter.
Oh, Salaki.
Right, yeah, it makes sense, right?
It's Revelations chapter 13 and verse... we started at 13. This Revelation chapter 13 verse 13, and he doeth great wonders, so that he make a fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men.
We know what happened with Hiroshima. You know, that was a great sight, or as it says here, great wonders. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing happened like that before. You know, when this beast, all right, that is ultimately going to implement this mark, all right, drop that bomb. You know.
Good, man. Yep. It says, verse 14, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live.
You know, what they call the American way. You know what I'm saying? The traditions of men, so to speak. You know, just, you know, ultimately this is the revised Roman Empire. That's that image you know, that we see today. All right, that's the same image. All right, that Rome was establishing. You know, just the infrastructure. You could just look at the different things, man. The Washington Monument. You know what I'm saying? All that it just goes back to Rome. You know, the whole culture, man. You know, bread and circuses. You know, going to these stadiums. You know, or you know, what's it called today?
Domes.
The domes, right? Yeah, the domes. You know what I'm saying?
Arenas.
The arenas, yeah. Yep. You know, this is all it's all the same thing, man. You know, this is that second beast. All right, that's that image, or that wound was healed. You know, pursuant to was that the chapter we just read, right? In chapter 12.
Revelation 12. Yep.
Yep.
And Revelation 22.
20. Yeah. Yep.
20 as well. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And a point on this too, in verse 14 said, he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. Which example of those miracles, you know, is like you was going into that media, man. You know, that witchcraft, man. You know, because he portrays all these different narratives in his media to get people to believe it. That's a miracle within itself, man. Mm-hmm. That you can make somebody believe that they need to stick a needle in their arm or some unidentified stuff and put it in their body for a virus that you don't even know exists or not. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's a miracle, man. You know.
Mm-hmm. And not to go too far, but you know, the media, it's like the devices they use, like is examples with you know, I think I saw a picture with like Wall Street Journal, and it's like the same picture, but it's like different storylines depending on what side of town you live on. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy.
And just like, you know, we was talking how there was a warrant issued out for Trump. If you try to look it up, the media ain't, you know what I'm saying, because we're here living in this beast system. All right, you're not even gonna be able to find it like that. But you know, if you look up, you know, if you type in the UK, you know what I'm saying, RT UK and stuff like that, then you'll probably find it.
Right.
You know, that's just, you know, another example that, you know, it's a strong deception, man. The devil means deceiver, man.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Verse 15, it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast.
Mm-hmm.
Was an example of that through these vaccinations and these microchip, you know. It says that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's ultimately what it's going to lead up to, man.
Yep.
You know, if you don't worship this beast, if you ain't part of this system, man, ultimately taking that mark, all right, which is in the form of the RFID microchip, then ultimately you're going to be seen as an enemy, man. And they already prepping, all right, the media to look at, you know, Jake, men like us, Lord willing, we be those men, all right, who will be taking down this beast system, you know. They looking at men like us, all right, as the threat, as someone who's just, you know what I'm saying, a hate group. You know what I'm saying? Men on the corners with Bibles in our hands, we're seen as more of a threat than, you know, these trannies, man.
Well, in Revelation 12, you know, the chapter before, in verse 17, it says the dragon was wroth with the women and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahshua and have the testimony of Yahweh Shah Mashiach. You know, so that's letting you know that you know, this devil, he looks at the men of the Lord highly, man. You know, he sees them on a high level, man. That's how high this devil, you know, looks at us, man. We're such a threat that he's gonna come to make war with us. You know, those who, you know, had a testimony of Yahweh Shah Mashiach, is that serious? Mm-hmm. You know, what about those who, you know, are actually trying, you know, got militia groups set up for you? You know what I'm saying? For you not to actually allow them to vaccinate their children, or, you know, vaccinate their people, or, you know, take a RFID chip. He not worried about them. He's worried about those who keep the commandments of Yahweh and have the testimony of Yahweh Shah Mashiach that lets you know how serious that is, man. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And just to add, this was written thousands of years ago, man. You know, and that's just how powerful that, like we bringing out, like prophecies are just being made plain, man. You know, Esau, he's just fulfilling the prophecy, not even knowing it. You know, even though at this point they know it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they can't fight it, man.
Yeah.
You know. They can't hide it. They can't hide the fact that this was written. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I was thinking if you could jump up to verse 6 real quick, or 7.
I got you. Start at 6.
Come on.
It's Revelations 13:6. It says, and he opened his mouth in blasphemy against Yahweh to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven.
Yep, that's talking about the saints.
Ooh.
Which is gonna go into it, but yeah, we're ultimately the chief enemy or chief rival, all right, to these so-called elite banker families, man. Men on the highways and byways, we're the arch rival, man. All right, men, all right, who wear the sackcloth, man. We're the ones who are just a true threat to the men who's controlling this beast. The earth was given to the hand of the wicked, man, doing the working of Satan, man. All right, and ultimately, hey, this is how this thing works, man. David slew on Goliath, man. That's how the story goes.
Yes, they speak about that in Revelation the 11th chapter 2. When they speak about the two witnesses, who tormented them. What I'm saying? Speaking about the southern and the northern kingdom, man. And ultimately speak about, I think it's in like Revelations 11 as well. I don't want to misquote it. Revelations 11. Oh yeah, it's that same verse. I'm just reading.
Spirit. Yeah.
This can you get that Amalek or war with Amalek? Yeah, just to back up your point too. I'm gonna just read this.
Numbers 20, I think.
Yeah. This Revelation chapter 11 verse 3. And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. And so he done gave us Yahweh Shemashah done gave power unto us, man. To what? To do to prophecy, man. And what are we doing? We're prophesizing against this devil, man. We're prophesizing against Esau Edom. Why? Because Esau Edom is the end of the world, man. And we like the brother was saying, those men in sackcloth. That's letting you know that that's us. Those men that's on the highways and the byways in them rent garments, man. Crying aloud. Prophesying against this devil, man. And it's obviously power because this devil wants to kill us for it, man.
You said the war in Amalek. You want that one?
Yeah, Khan. Just to back up your point, just real quick.
Khan. This is in the book of Exodus 17 in verse 16. It says, for he said, because the Lord, Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushai, hath sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation.
Right, yeah. So Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, that was another prophecy that was declared, like the brother was saying. That's our arch rival. That's our chief enemy, man. But ultimately, that was a prophecy put forth by the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, man. That it was going to be war forever with Amalek, man. Starting with these chief banking families, which, are from the tribe of Amalek. These so-called Jews, man.
Come. Yep.
Whoo! Can I get this real quick, too? It's in Numbers. Salaki, just real quick. This Numbers chapter 24, verse 19. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. And ultimately, that's talking about our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach. But we make up the body of our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It says, and when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. And that's the ultimate thing that's gonna happen to you devils, man. You can't fight that regardless of what you try to do. You can try to chip everybody and try to kill the man of the Lord. You're still gonna perish forever. Why? Because Yahweh Shemel Shai has wrote it, and whatever he said he gonna do is gonna happen. It said in Numbers 23. Matter of fact, Yahweh Shemel Shai is not a man that he should lie. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to happen.
Yep. That's the faith and patience of the saints.
Like you're saying, Revelation 13.
Yep.
It's the spirit. Jump back to that Revelation 13.
Come.
It's back in Revelation chapter 13 in verse, I read 6 again. It says, and he opened his mouth in blasphemy against Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle in them that dwell in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations.
Yep. So we see what the game plan is, man. That first beast, all right, had the same game plan that the second beast is coming back strong, to do the same thing. It says here, make war with the saints, the saints who would take the kingdom in Daniel, the 7th chapter, man. This is how the storyline works, man. It's contrary, man. It's always been like that. If you go back to Genesis 25, man, Esau and Jacob struggled together in the womb, man. This is how it's always been, man, since the beginning, man. But yeah, I guess we could jump down if you want.
16. Just back in Revelations 13, verse 16, it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Yep. Now we know what this is talking about. It's really common knowledge. I would think at this point that that's talking about the RFID microchip, man. They can't escape it. They can't escape that. This is vividly talking about, and that's crazy that certain camps, they still in denial. All right, that this is literally a prophecy. All right, it's plain. These Christians understand and believe that, man. Some of them at least.
God, bro. Yep. But Lord willing, it said my people shall be willing and dead our power. My people should be willing and dead our power, man. When and ultimately Esau's power is Yahweh Shema Shai's power too, because Esau is his sword. So once Esau started unveiling, his real plans, which he already is doing. Once he start rolling them out, though, you know what I'm saying? Like our people are gonna really, get with the program,
Right. People thinking that Black Lives Matter is doing something. Like, nah, they just grooming y'all, thinking that you know what I'm saying. Hey, Sirach 12 tells you like what the enemy, how he moves, man. He think he's gonna try to befriend you, and then all of a sudden, the troops come out.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Just forcing that vaccine on you, man.
God, nah. Yep. Matter of fact, woo-wee, Sirach, God, I know.
You got
get Sirach 13:4. It's the spirit, because I was, a lot of these priests I was just hearing, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what? And the spirit guy is bringing them out.
I can read it for you.
Sirach 13:4, I believe.
Sirach 13:4. It says,
You want every right to?
Satan. Sirach 13:4. It says, if thou be for his profit, he will use thee. But if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee.
Right, so if thou be for his profit, he will use you. You know what I'm saying? But if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee. So ultimately, Esau, he needs Jake right now to be out there, protesting black lives, black trans lives matter. Ultimately wants to further his agenda. But once his agenda is on the way to being accomplished, he gonna roll out them troops on your ass like you was touching on. You know what I'm saying? He don't need your ass no more. Now he gonna kill you.
Yep. That's cold.
It's back in Revelation 13 in verse 17. I'll read 16 again. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their forehead, so like in their right hand or in their foreheads.
It says all, both small and great, rich and poor, man, free and bond, man. So everybody, man, whether you're in the prison, whether you're one of those athletes, you know what I'm saying, the elite Bacon families, you know what I'm saying. I mean, it could go that far. Ultimately, we this beast is talking about America. Everybody that dwells here, all right, it's going to start here. But we see other countries is actually ahead of the curve. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because, go Revelation 18. They drinking of that cup. You know what I'm saying? But this is how this thing works. It ain't like, that's why you can't say that the mark of the beast is a philosophy. You can't go to the store, all right, and say, yeah, Jesus is the word and get a cup of tea. Nah, that's not how this thing works, man. All right. I mean, be realistic here, man. It's an actual currency. All right, you could look up body activity or HR. Well, not HR 6666. That's another one that goes into it.
Yeah, they tie into it though.
It ties into it. Yeah.
Neuralink,
right? You know, it was a patent. You know that Microsoft used. You know, Lord willing, I could put it in the description. But you know, I went into it ultimately. You know, the number of the patent it has 666 in there, man.
That's crazy.
You know, and it's a cryptocurrency that uses body activity data. Mm-hmm. That's literally what this is, man. We're reading it.
Here you go. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. Mm-hmm. So that's literally body activity right there. If you're a man and you can't buy unless you have a mark, that means it has to be in your body. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It says, and that no man might buy or sell save he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name.
Mm-hmm. Kind of. You know, while we on it, might as well see if I could go into the word. You know, sometimes it's tricky, but the number where it says 603 scoring 6, Strong's G, 5516.
Strong's G 5516. Chai, Psi, 5516. Stigma. Chai, Psi, stigma. Chai, Psi, stigma.
I'm gonna just read this verse real quick, just for you, brother. So you know, it says, verse 18. It says, "Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603
And if you go into that word, like the one we just read, and let me just go back. That's Strong's G 5516. But if you go into that Strong's G 4742.
Strong's G 4742. Stigma. Strong's G 4742. Stigma.
It says here, a mark pricked in or branded upon the body. To ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander, branded or pricked. In parentheses, it says cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belong to. It says, and there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods. So this is how heavy it is, man. When you take that mark, you basically saying that, you know, the beast owns you. You know, that like this is your god. You worshiping the beast, and this is just a stamp. All right. So this is heavy. This is not no spiritual thing. This is a physical mark. You jump to 14 or chapter 14.
Oh, 14. You want to get that article real quick, or you ain't want to? You just want to?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we can go to 14. You got it out. I'm just bring out Ezekiel 28. Then we can grab it.
Let me read it.
Yeah, you got it.
It says, Revelation 14:9 says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark.
So hold on. These are three separate things. You know what I'm saying? It said, if any man, what did it say out?
It says, if any man worship the beast.
If any man worship the beast, so you got to worship the beast.
And his image.
And his image. So you got to worship the beast and the image of the beast.
And receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand.
And receive his mark in his forehead in his hand. So these are three separate things that you have to do that consist of one. That's that Satan head. You know what I'm saying? The God head. That's that Satan head.
Satan head.
You know what I'm saying? They all are one, but they're three separate things. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. God. Yep. God. So you can't say the image of the beast is a picture of Treasury Borgia.
Right.
It didn't say the beast is Treasury Borgia. No.
Right.
I mean, come on. You know, that's... Hey, man. Certain people are through. I'll just leave it at that.
Hey, but that word, like I was telling you brothers at camp, when you go on that word, when you go on this 2 Corinthians 4:3, it would say, if this gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. That word lost in that verse means destroyed.
Woo.
That's crazy.
Con, you know, because ultimately the watchmen are going to be warning the people, man. If you're not warning the people about taking this chip, then there's a lot of blood in your hands, man.
And Lord willing, you know, the Lord, you know, pardons them. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Lord willing. You know, whoever the elect is, they gonna come up out of it at the end of the day.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But if not, you know, you gonna have a fucking horrendous judgment for that, man. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It says, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Bashim Haushai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation.
And that's that horrendous judgment that's gonna come upon you, man. You know, Yahweh Bashim Haushai is not gonna let up on you, man. And which ultimately means he gonna let them missiles loose at your ass, man. You know, bro. If you make it through all the judgments in the day of the Lord to the very end, bro, that's horrendous, man. That means you went through all out hell and survived it. You know what I'm saying? Just to get hit with a nuke, bro. That's a horrendous. That's without no mixture, man. You know, Yahweh Shai ain't really let up on you at all, bro. You know what I'm saying? He just took you all the way through the ringer, man. You know.
Mm-hmm. That trick bag.
Nah.
It says, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
Woo! So and then on top of it, the host of heaven gonna watch your ass burn to death, man. You know, that's a horrendous judgment, man. You know, that's a horrendous judgment. And that's how serious this chip is, man. You know, that's why from the apostles and elders on down, you know, GMS they push this chip so heavy, man, because, man. Look, you could be a 2/3 and suffer a horrible judgment, but ain't no judgment like the judgment you're gonna receive if you take this damn chip. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Like this is serious, man. You know, this is a serious matter, man. You know, like we was touching on before this. Unless you got Jake talking about voting and shit, man. Man, bro, man, fuck voting. You got politicians who are endorsing this microchip, man. Your ass better be figuring out what you need to do not to take this damn chip, man. You know, what it's gonna take for you not to take this chip, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And this what time we in right now, man. They're actually pushing vaccinations. They're finna make vaccinations forced, man. You know, then you got reports that in these vaccinations that they could put the chip inside of them, man. You know, so we in that time right now, man. And then we know that in Sweden, damn near their whole country is damn microchip, man. Mm-hmm. Damn near the whole country, man. You know?
Mm-hmm. That's heavy.
You get Ezekiel 28 up?
Okay. This is the book of the prophet Ezekiel, chapter 28. You start where?
You start at 2, Bible Kashaf.
Okay. It says, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus said the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Haushai, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man, and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of Yahweh Bashim Haushai.
Yeah, so though this devil want to set his mind, you know, to be God, you know, implement microchips in everybody, you're nothing but a man. You're just a mortal man, you know. Ultimately, you're not going to be able to fulfill your desire. You'll get Job 5 and 12 real quick. Bible Kashaf.
Job 5 and verse 12, it says, he disappointeth the devices of the crafty.
Yeah, you're the crafty, you know. Well, you're the lead. You was the lead nation in Psalms 83 when it was talking about the crafty council. Mm-hmm. You know, you were the first nation that was spoken of, Edom, man. Mm-hmm. So you're the crafty. Mm-hmm. You know, he's gonna. Oh, you got a point, so.
And they added Amalek in there too, so that's like twice.
God, huh? You know, so it's letting you know that it's talking about you devils, man. Mm-hmm. You know, you're the crafty, and what are your devices? Where that RFID chip is an actual device. We was reading in the article, it spoke of it being a device. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it says he disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
So that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. And what's their enterprise, man? That's the New World Order, where they want to have everybody chipped vaccinated and under their rule, to and under their in subjection unto them, man. That's basically the whole enterprise, where they're the gods of the earth, man. They're God on earth, man. But Yahweh Shem Yahshua, you're not gonna allow that to happen, man. You're a man. You're not God, but you are a man. Though you set your heart as God, I don't give a damn.
Okay.
You ain't nothing but a man.
Mm-hmm. I get that in 2 Corinthians 2 real quick.
Yeah, you got it up.
This is in the book of 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So the elect, Lord willing, we be those men. We're not going to be ignorant of his devices. I mean, we're reading them. We're seeing his devices. Brothers literally did a lesson, all right, going into the inner thoughts of the wicked, man. It's nothing they not deep, man. These scriptures are deep, you know what I'm saying? Looking into who they are, the scripture describes them.
God, bro. We already know what you thinking. You know what I'm saying? You can't pull a woo on us. You know what I'm saying? We know what you thinking before you thinking it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Back in Ezekiel 28, verse 3.
You read 2 again one more time?
Yep. It says, Son of man, saying to the prince of Tyrus, thus said the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahshua, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God. I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man.
Yeah, you're just a man. That's what Yahweh Shem Yahshua going to allow you to show forth to you real soon,
Right. Is this the man?
God. Yep.
It says, yet thou art a man and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Behold, verse 3, it says, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee.
So, yeah, you're wise in wickedness, but the wisdom of righteousness prevailed the wisdom of wickedness, man. That's why it's no secret that you can hide from us, just like you was just touching on. We know the inner thoughts of the wicked, man. You know what I'm saying? You might be wiser than Daniel in wickedness, but ultimately, who did King Nebuchadnezzar have to come to for the interpretation of a dream? He had to come to Daniel, man. Why? Because the wisdom of righteousness prevails the wisdom of wickedness, man. All them astrologers, them Chaldeans, the magicians, they couldn't give the answer, man. Which they're the modern day Chaldeans,
Yep.
Modern day witches and warlocks,
Yep.
You bring it down to 6.
Verse 4 says, with thy wisdom and with thine understanding that has gotten thee riches, and has gotten gold and silver into thy treasures.
So that's why he's so puffed up, He done pretty much, what I'm saying, through his knowledge of wickedness, pretty much made the whole earth in subjugation unto him. So that's why he feel like, okay, I can just go ahead with my knowledge of wickedness, really make everybody subject to me by putting a chip in them,
Right, really feeling yourself. You really get, you know what I'm saying? When you down on, like, you on top of the world, ain't nothing could top you. That's where they at right now.
God.
That's exactly how the Most High wanted it, man. Just in Obadiah, you know what I'm saying? I will bring thee down to the ground.
God. Yep. Yep.
It says, with thy wisdom and with thine understanding that has gotten thee riches and has gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic thou hast increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Therefore, thus said the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahshua, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of Yahweh Shem Yahshua.
Like you keep going down like 9.
Behold,
10. Yeah, my fault.
It says, verse 7, behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness.
Which lets you know that all the king's heart is in the hands of the Lord, man. Which lets you know ultimately Yahweh Shem Yahshua just using you to bring forth prophecy, man. And he gonna use these other nations to destroy your ass, man.
They shall bring thee down to the pit, and thou shalt die in the deaths of them that are slain in the midst of the seas. Verse 9, it says, Wilt thou yet say before him that slayeth thee, Am I God? But thou shalt be the man and no God in the hand of him that slayeth thee.
Woo! So are you going to say to the hands of him that slayeth thee, I am God? No, the fuck you're not. No, you're not. I'm finna kill you. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna tell? Oh, so you so much of a God that stopped me from killing you then? You know?
God. Yep. That's cool. Verse 10. Thou shalt die in the deaths of the uncircumcised by the hand of strangers. For I have spoken it, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai.
So that's a wrap. You're gonna die the death of the uncircumcised because you are uncircumcised. You know, you're profane. You're outside the temple. All right, and the reason why it even mentioned uncircumcised because you proclaim to be a man of the Lord, man. You proclaim to be the children of God, man. Mm-hmm. You know, you proclaim to be circumcised, man. Well, you got Edomites who cause their children to be circumcised, man. You know, so you're gonna die the death of an uncircumcised by the hands of a stranger. Since you want to act like, you know, I'm gonna let you die by the hands of a heathen. You fucking heathen. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And he said, I have spoken it. So Yahweh Shem Shai, regardless of what you try to do, Bill Gates, Melinda Gates, you know, George Soros,
yeah,
you know, all these different devils, you know, Yahweh Shem Shai is not going to allow you to do it, man. You know, and even whatever you accomplish, he's still gonna destroy you. You know, because they ain't do nothing but bring forth his judgment. Like anybody who take a chip, they was purpose to take that chip so the Lord can kill their ass, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Right.
That's it. You got anything to do?
Nah, that was it.
God. So, you got
Yeah, Lord William, this was edifying to the elect.
God.
With that, we want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to Apostles Noah's at Great Millstone who were well. Peace and salutations to all assisted Akim, adoring afflictions, making their calling and election sure. Shalom to the elect. Abba Ball.
Shalom. Bye.